bought my personal house recently too. And the way it went down is they were listed on the market for 935 grand. Then they dropped it to 850. I offered them 550.
Damn.
And they were like, no, we can't do 550. I was like, all right, what can you do? They're like, well, we'll do 560.
You lowballed them.
Yeah, lowballed them like crazy.
Wow, so you got that for like 40% off.
Yeah, put like 250 grand into it just to make it nice and like
Yeah.
how I want to, but you know, it was solid property.
Dude, you got a steal. You doubled your money overnight.
Exactly.
All right, guys, Donovan Camarotti here today. We're going to talk Airbnb, right?
Yeah, Airbnb, flipping, whatever, man.
Let's go. And you're a young person to be in this space.
I am 21.
Did you start at like straight out of high school or?
Yeah, I really kind of just started, you know, looking into it. You know, when I was like a senior in high school, I needed to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
Then like first week in college, started, you know, I got my first property first week of college and just been doing it ever since.
Wow. How'd you afford that first one?
Saved up some money. Had to, you know, basically just put everything I had into it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just bought that one, ended up having no money. So sold it, then I had some money and then bought a few more and just kind of kept doing it like
Oh,
that.
so you were able to flip it quick?
I was, yeah, within a few months.
Nice.
So,
And what gave you that conviction to pick that specific property?
well, you know, it was cheaper, it was easier, it was like a condo, so it was like super easy to get into. And it was a light renovation, so it was like a good first property.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And how did you learn how to like fix it and everything?
Honestly, I kind of just figured it out you know, by doing it. You know, my parents had like this handyman that worked for them, so he kind of just like did the renovation. Had to find a couple other subcontractors and just basically figured it out.
A good handyman is important, I feel like, for that business because you get ripped off with certain guys.
Yeah, certain contractors take advantage of people, especially if they don't know, like, you know,
Dude,
what's going on or whatever.
I've been getting wrecked out here in my house.
Have you?
Bro. Because I just bought a house.
Did you?
And I've never had to like use contractors before, but a lot of them be highballing and you have no idea what to compare it to.
Right.
So you're just overpaying.
Yeah, if you have like no reference, you know, you'll pay 100 grand for something that'll cost you like 40, 50,
Yeah.
you know, normally actual cost.
I just paid like $12K to fix a leak.
Oh, gosh.
I got wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be like a couple thousand max.
Right, max. Max.
Yeah, so you live and you learn though, man.
100%.
So is your main strategy to fix and flip?
Yeah. I do have like one Airbnb and then one that's in the process of being built.
Got it.
But fix and flip is my bread and butter.
I feel that. What do you think about this Section 8 stuff?
Section 8, I mean, you know, it's good for some people, and I think it works for some people. But I don't think it's really something I'd want to get into. I mean, I know people can make a lot of money, but not so much my thing, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
It
just
seems
a tenant class is, you know, lower level people is what you're dealing with. So.
It seems kind of too good to be true, the ads I'm seeing for it.
I mean, it's nice because the government will pay the rent basically, or they'll guarantee it. But then, you know, you get just the lower class of people, which I mean, it's kind of unfortunate to say, but like me personally, I would rather kind of just deal with businesses and, you know, I'd rather rent to a business and, you know, they have a, you know, guarantee on it. And it's just a lot easier to deal with,
so you're targeting
B2B
like,
instead of like B2C.
You're targeting like the upper middle class people.
Yeah. People that are a little
sense.
more stable, a little more, you know, they just are comfortable essentially, you know.
So how many units do you have now?
So I currently have just under 40 flips on the books right now, and then, you know, the 2 Airbnbs as well.
That's so fast because you started recently.
Yeah, within the last 3 years.
Holy crap. So that's like 15 a year almost, flips.
Yeah, well, I'm on track to do about like 80 to 100 flips, you know, in the next 12 months. And then, you know, just kind of like scaled up. So like my first year I did like 9 flips, second year maybe like 22, and then now it's just like, you know, totally took off.
Damn, exponential growth. So what was that thing did you change anything from what you were doing?
Well, so between year 1 and year 2, I learned how to raise money, right? Because like you can only do so much in real estate, just, you know, money-wise, right? And then from year 2 to year 3, I figured out how to hire people. So I hired project managers, I hired acquisition, I now have an assistant, you know, disposition as well. So everything is like kind of covered essentially. So that just allows us to scale like crazy.
Yeah, I feel like raising money is really hard to figure out. Yeah. But once you got that and you have a good ROI system in place, like, why would you not continue investing?
Yeah. And well, I kind of had to raise money just out of necessity. You
right.
know?
Yeah,
like,
you didn't have any.
You know, my 5th or 6th flip, you know, I already had a proof of concept. Like, I know I could do it. And then I just, you know, ran out of money. So I was like, okay, hey, I need, you know, 50 grand for the down payment on this house, you know, paid someone interest and, you know, just basically kept doing that. I was like, oh, wow, I can do this and do 100 properties. You know, why stop at 1 or 2 or 3 or 4?
I feel that. So. Any flips where you lost money? And if so, what was the big lesson learned there?
Yeah, 100%, dude. I lost like 50 grand on my 3rd flip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which sucked, right? Because basically what I had made, I lost. But the good thing is that property, you know, didn't sell for like a year. So with the holding costs and everything, that's why I lost. But I was able to flip other houses during that time. So it kind of just made up for it.
Got it.
And I would say like the biggest lesson I learned is not hiring bad contractors, or not always hiring the cheapest, bid. Obviously you don't want to get ripped off like we were just talking about, but you don't want to go with the cheapest guy because he's probably underbidding it for a reason. Either he doesn't know what he's getting into, or he's just going to put in cheaper material and not do as good of a work, so that's what bit me on that house.
Right. So maybe get someone in the middle of high and low.
Right. Like if you get 3 bids and you got one guy at 10 grand, one at 12, one at 15, go with like a 12 guy.
Yeah, that's probably the safest play.
100%.
Yeah, because if you go with the cheapest, it sounds good, but then you got to pay for the fix.
Right, and then it's double.
Right. Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah, and you pay the expensive guy to do it.
Yeah, I feel that, man. So it took you how long to be profitable after that 50K loss?
So I mean, it was profitable, during that time, right? Now, obviously, that hurt the P&L at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But we were flipping other houses during that time, so we were able to survive it.
Got it. So this business is interesting then, because a lot of businesses you're not profitable for a bit.
No, and now I will say, I didn't really take any profit and any distributions, other than very small ones for the first year and a half,
Got it.
And then only recently I started taking big ones, and I was actually able to take big ones comfortably.
Right. So you got to lock in for a year, and then
minimum year.
Yeah.
In this business.
Did you have a mentor?
I have a few mentors, right? And I kind of I get different things from every one of them. Now, none of them being one-on-one per se. But I think you had him on the podcast, Ryan Pineda.
Yeah.
He's been a big one for me.
Nice.
Right. I have the guy that runs our local RIA, he's taught me a lot just by being in there and listening to what he has to say. I learned a lot on YouTube, honestly.
YouTube University, baby.
Yeah. I for probably at least 9 months, maybe a year, before I really jumped into it, I was just watching YouTube, learning everything I could about fixing and flipping houses, how to talk to sellers, how to run comparable sales, how to estimate rehab costs, everything like that.
Yeah, and you won't learn that in college.
No, not at all.
Hell no.
No.
So do you even have a real estate license?
I don't have a real estate license, but I have agents, that now work for me that do have
a
real estate license. So.
Got it. And how are you finding the houses on the MLL?
So on the MLS, we do find some houses. A lot of the stuff is, just through Google pay-per-click marketing. Honestly, the best though has been the organic leads and the referrals that we've gotten.
Really?
Yeah, that's been by far the best. Number one, they don't cost anything, and number two, they they're really high quality because you don't have to sell yourself. They kind of already trust you because it's a referral. Wow. Yeah.
So that's the strategy right there.
That's been the best for me so far.
Yeah, because if you're looking on MLS, everyone else is looking.
Yeah, and you're gonna pay the most.
100%. Yeah, because they can run comps and everything, so they have a better idea of the market, and they have an agent representing them.
Right, exactly. And then it's just getting out to everyone. So you're just gonna, if you win it, you're just probably the highest bidder.
Yeah, 100%. Any crazy stories with squatters or anything?
Oh, squatters, man.
Where are you doing this? What state?
Florida.
Okay.
Which is good because the laws there are decent, for the property owner. Now it's still kind of difficult depending on, what's going on and how they became squatters. The first time I ever dealt with a squatter was a property that I bought. There were 7 people living in there. By the time I had closed on it, there were maybe 4 people living there. And this lady overstayed her, welcome basically. And then she said she left, and I was like, okay, cool. So we went into the house, and her bed was still there. Her cats were still there. It looked like she was still living there. I was like, I don't think she left. So we went back a little bit later. Sure enough, she was in there. I was like, oh boy. And it wasn't me. It was actually my project manager that went in there. Funny enough, I was on the phone with him, and he walks in, and we were just talking whatever. He's like, hey, what do you want to do with this, baseboard? And he goes, hey, you cannot be here. Really loud, really imposing voice. And I was like, bro, what's happening? And the lady's name was Lisa. I don't know. I probably shouldn't say that, but who cares? She's a squatter. He's like, Lisa, you cannot be here. You have to get out right now. And then sure enough, he kicks her out. She gets out, and change the locks, whatever. I set up a camera. The next night, she climbs in the window and gets back in the house.
No way.
Yes. And apparently 2 of her other friends come in the house too.
Whoa.
So we walked into the house one morning. The bathroom guys were there to work on the bathroom, whatever. They walk into the house, and they got one person in the back porch, one person in the closet sleeping, and then Lisa's in her bedroom. So they're like, hey guys, you can't be here. You got to get out. And they left pretty easily. But this one lady, Lisa, kept coming back. like every night she would come back to sleep. And she was like, yeah, I'm getting out today. She never got out, right? So one night I saw her on the camera. I was like near where the house was, so I just went over there. And I was like, hey, you got to go. I got the cops over there, and the cops were actually kind of like giving me a little bit of a hard time. Because they were like, hey, you know, technically, you know, you're not the owner of record yet. I was like, yes, I am. Here's all the paperwork. It just hasn't updated on public record yet. And I had to, you know, basically convince the cops. I was like, hey, guys, help me get this person out that's not supposed to be here. And I had to prove, you know, my ownership and everything. And, you know, they had a conversation with her, and she was like kind of like a meth head. So she, in that moment, she agreed to get out. I helped her literally take all her stuff and put it at the curb so she couldn't come back in. We, you know, put sticks in the windows to lock them. And after that, she finally got out. She didn't come back. I later found out that she got arrested, and all the proceeds from the sale she sent to her meth dealer.
No way.
and she lost all the money that she made from that sale.
What?
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah. It was wild. She like endorsed a check over to him because she didn't have a bank account. And he ran off with it.
That's
I was like,
crazy.
what did you expect, man?
You're lucky you were in Florida. I feel like if that was Cali, you would have been screwed.
No shot. She would have still been there.
Yeah. What is it, like 6 months if you're there, you own the house or something?
I don't know exactly. I actually had this one guy I know in California. He basically became a squatter. Like Chase Bank, you know, still is like on the deed, but he's owned the house for like 20 years and he's collecting rent on it. Yeah. He's like renting it out, and now there's like nothing they can do about it because it's in California.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he's making rental income for 20 years on it.
Yeah. How do the HOAs feel about what you do in their neighborhoods?
You know, it's interesting. Some HOAs are fine, and then some you just get like these Karens, right? That just have nothing better to do. They're retired, or they don't work, whatever, and they just want to feel like they're in control, right? So like one example, I had this one lady who, this is probably the craziest story, where she was like, hey, you can't be doing work without a permit. I was like, yeah, I understand. Here's my permit. And I showed her the copy of the permit. She's like, well, it has to be posted in the window. It's like, okay, my bad. You know, I didn't know. And then we had it printed out, posted in the window, but it didn't get done that day. So what she did that day is she went into the unit. It was a condo. She goes into the unit. She kicks out all the guys that are working there, which I don't know why they listen to her, but they did. And she takes the keys out of my lockbox, and she holds onto the keys. Now I live like an hour away from where this property is. So I get a call from the contractor, like freaking out. He's like, hey, this lady just took your keys. She kicked all my guys out of the unit. Like, you know, what's going on? I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. So I hop in the car, I go down there, and I go knock on the door because the contractor, he was like, hey, she's in unit like 204. Yeah. So I go knock on 204. It was the wrong lady. I was like giving her crap. I was like, hey, you took my keys. And she's like, I didn't take your keys. I was like, yes, you did. Like they said, it's 204. And then he was like, no, it's 304. I was like, oh, dude, you told me 204.
Poor old lady.
I was like, this poor old lady. So I had to go back and apologize to her. But and then I find the lady in 304. Yeah. She's just nasty, man. And there's actually a video on my Instagram about it, where, you know, we're yelling back and forth. I was like, give me my keys, lady. And she's just not giving me my keys because I don't have the permit in the window. I was like, well, hey, the HOA has it on file. I do have a permit. Like, you cannot take my keys and go into my unit. Like, that's breaking and entering. Yeah. Ended up having to call the cops. But before that, she tries to take off. And, like, I tried to, like, you know, get in front of the car so she didn't go.
Whoa.
And she tries to, like, run me over.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So I had to, like, hop out of the way. Whole video's on my Instagram.
You recorded all this?
I recorded all of it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then so she tries to, you know, run over me, whatever. Cops come and they got, like, I got her license plate. So then, you know, they called her back in. Yeah. And they got her, they talked to her. HOA president ended up, like, coming out. He was, like, you know, kind of on my side, which was nice. And he was like, hey, you cannot be doing this. And the cops, so they gave her like a citation. They were like, you can press charges, but honestly, it's probably not worth your time. Like, if she does it again, go ahead and press charges. Thankfully, she didn't, but yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's like attempted, like, vehicular, like, manslaughter or something, right?
Exactly. Plus breaking and entering, plus, you know, whatever else. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, she could have gotten the whole book.
Holy crap. She did not like what you were doing.
No. It's like, why? You know?
I guess
it was
nothing
better to do.
I guess it was loud or something, right? The noise.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that's just part of being a homeowner. Like, your neighbors are going to do work once in a while. Exactly. Like, that's, like, what if she wanted to do work on her house?
Exactly. Like, what are you going to do there? But, you know, then there's on the flip side, you know, some HOAs that are really cool. And they're like, hey, you took this really ugly house and made it nice. Thank you so much.
Right.
Here's some other houses that are ugly. If you make them an offer. So there are some good HOAs.
Oh, that's cool.
They're not bad all the time, but just some of these.
I have a love-hate with them.
Yeah, me too.
Because the monthly fee is a lot. And then, so dude, my HOA in Vegas, they found the money laundering.
Really?
Yeah, they were keeping all the money.
No way.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen with that?
I don't know. I left that neighborhood, but I think they're getting sued. I don't know, but that's probably common because they're getting all this money. They're obviously not spending it all.
Right.
Like, let's just be honest.
There's a big thing in Florida with condos. Because, like, you know, I don't know if you've heard about it, but there's something called a milestone inspection where if the property is more than, like, 3 stories tall, they have to come in and do an inspection, make sure it's, like, up to spec and everything. And if there's not, they get these huge assessments. Like, there was this one had foundation issues near me. It was a probably, like, 70-something unit deal on the beach, and they wanted to sell it for, like, $1.6 million, which it's worth like $20 million.
Whoa.
Up. Yeah. It just because they were going to dissolve the HOA and just wanted to get rid of it.
Damn.
So yeah, right.
So someone scooped that up?
So it's a whole process. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
But it's a whole process to like dissolve an HOA and everything like that.
Yeah, it sounds complicated.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, you know, they didn't have the reserves to do the foundation repairs, and, you know, the people didn't have the money to come up with, you know, for the assessment and everything. So they were just, hey, it's better to just get rid of it.
Yeah. You know? How's the market in Florida about you right now? Right now, there's a lot listed in Vegas.
Yeah, there's a decent amount listed in Florida too. I would say like a few months ago, it was a little worse. It's picked up a little bit now with a little bit of an interest rate cut.
Yeah.
But it's definitely slower than it was, you know, like last year before. But it's not horrible. You know, we're still selling stuff.
Yeah. It feels like there's like a stalemate still.
There is a little bit, right? Because people think interest rates are going to keep dropping, which they probably are. So then they're kind of just waiting. But, you know, then again, if you wait, then, you know, prices are probably going to go up.
If you wait, yeah. And there's more offers.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be competing with more people, and you're going to pay more for the property.
That's why I bought now, because I was chilling. I was the only offer. I had all the leverage. I was 100%. Like, you know.
You know, I bought my personal house recently, too. And the way it went down is they were listed on the market for $935,000. Then they dropped it to $850,000. I offered them $550,000.
Damn.
And they were like, no, we can't do $550,000. I was like, all right, what can you do? They're like, well, we'll do $560,000.
Wow.
I was like, all right, cool.
You lowballed them.
Yeah, lowballed them like crazy.
Wow, so you got that for like 40% off.
Yeah. And when I bought it, it appraised for $1.2 million.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So like it's so much easier to get better deals right now. So,
that's insane.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna have to put like $250,000 into it just to make it nice and like how I want to. But you know, it's solid property.
Dude, you got to steal. You doubled your money overnight. Exactly. And you didn't do any work to get that appraisal?
No, it appraised as is just because it's a big house, nice neighborhood, big pool on a golf course, and just like that neighborhood, you know, with that size of a house, you know, was north of $1 million.
It sounds like that's your competitive edge. You're really good at identifying these deals.
Yeah, you have to be.
You've probably seen so many at this point where you can just see it and
like I'll tell my acquisition guys, like, hey guys, I want you to, if I tell you a street name and I tell you the approximate size of a house, I need you guys to tell me how much that house is worth, because I know it, right? Like if you tell me, you know, I live in Port St. Lucie. If you tell me, hey, it's this street in Port St. Lucie, 1,700 square feet, I know that'll sell for $400,000.
Whoa.
You know?
Is that memory or is that just skill?
Knowing the market, you know, and now not everywhere is going to be like that, you know, where houses are not so cookie cutter or whatever. But yeah, I mean, you have to be able to know what properties are worth so you can identify a good deal right away.
Right. Yeah. That's important because you got to act quick if you see a good deal.
100%. Yeah.
Before someone else scoops it up.
Definitely.
That makes sense. Damn, it sounds like you're going to surpass Perneda.
Well, he's doing a lot. You know, I think he changed his strategy a little bit. He's doing a lot more like wholesale and novation deals, which is awesome. I'm honestly getting into that.
Wholesale and novation, you said?
Yeah. You know, where, you know, he's not taking down as many flips just because of the risk, you know. Because I mean, a lot of flippers, myself included, you know, 2023, you know, when the market really slowed, it's like, hey, if you're carrying 40 flips and they all drop by like $30,000, you know, that's $1.2 million.
That's a big hit.
That you just like took an L on,
right.
You know? And you know, that I think that's kind of why he's switching to like the wholesale novation strategy, because there's a lot less exposure.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you have to go and own a property for 6 months and then, you know, sell it and make money.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't get the price you want, you just cancel the contract.
How does novation work? I haven't heard that one.
So it's a little bit complicated. It works a little bit different in each state. But essentially, instead of wholesaling the house to a cash buyer where you get a contract, let's say for $300,000, and you go assign your contract for $320,000 to a cash buyer who's going to flip it, and you make that $20,000 spread. Novation is when you actually will sell it to a retail buyer, someone that's going to live in the property, because those people can pay a lot more for the property than, an investor can, because the investor's trying to make money. Someone who's living there is just, they don't need a profit most of the time.
So you're like middlemaning, basically, similar to wholesale.
Yeah, it's similar to wholesale, but you're selling to buyers who will pay you more, right? And then in turn, you can get the seller more money.
Right.
So that's like a big pivot that he's been pushing, and I 100% see why. And I'm honestly going to be doing that.
Yeah, there's so many ways to make money in real estate. I know people buying land.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
And flipping it for like crazy profits.
Yeah. Well, because you can change the zoning on land too.
Right.
If you buy an agricultural, maybe 10 acres, and you get it mixed use commercial, you're going to probably triple, if not quadruple, the value of that land.
And I feel like that industry, specifically the land, if you have the right connects with politics, like you could really run it up.
Get in there and lobby and
let's be honest, that's how the top guys are probably doing it.
100%. Yeah. Because like where I am in Florida, it's like if you fly over Florida, like you go into the airport, you just see it's like by the ocean, it's just extremely dense and extremely populated. And then you go like a few miles out, it's just like trees and at the Everglades, right? And it's slowly moving west as people just keep building and keep building. So people will buy this agricultural land. A couple of years, it'll be a neighborhood.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, they'll get priced out of all the major cities.
Exactly.
And Florida's probably the best state in the country to live in right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, and it's nice too because you have the beach, you have like woods, you have access to water, access to the Caribbean, which is
good airport.
Nice. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you could fly pretty quick to out of the country. So
100%.
I'm a fan of it. If it wasn't the only thing is the humidity, dude. Dude, I walk outside, my glasses are fogged. Like,
yeah.
But other than that,
Vegas is. I was here like 3 months ago in July.
Oh man,
dude, it was hot, man.
120.
Yeah, and it's like a dry heat. Like in Florida, it's like you can breathe because it's humid. And like I live in Florida, I'm used to it. Like you sweat more, but like I'm coming out here to Vegas and it's hotter, but I'm not sweating as much. But dude, I can't breathe.
Yeah,
it's so dry, and I'm sure you get used to it when you live here. But
no, you don't. My lips have been chapped for 4 years.
Oh my gosh,
I get bloody noses still. You don't get used to this. No, no, literally everyone here carries around chapstick or something.
Really?
Because your lips just don't get used to it.
Yeah.
Like it's tough out here.
Yeah,
I would pick wet heat over dry heat.
Yeah. And it gets cold in the winter. I didn't realize Vegas.
It does.
I figured desert. It's like still warm. No, it's cold, man.
Yeah.
I was here in January and it was like 40 degrees.
No, you need a hoodie and sweatpants.
Yeah, I didn't bring anything like that. I thought it was gonna be hot.
Nah, Florida, you can wear a t-shirt and shorts the whole year.
Yeah, flip flops and whatever. You're good.
Yeah, you're set. Now Florida's big on supercars. I know you got one, right?
Yeah, recently.
What'd you get?
I got a McLaren 570, which is like, entry level. I wrapped it orange because,
classic.
Yeah, like I always wanted an orange McLaren. But I really got it more as an investment, right? And some people might be like, oh yeah, it's not an investment, but I think it is because just in the few months that I've owned it, I've gotten offers, to be literally on TV shows and have someone write a whole pitch for me to do that. I've gotten people that wanted to sell me their real estate deals, that wanted to lend me money on my real estate deals.
Wow.
Just in a few months of having it, because they kind of associate that, hey, someone's driving a car that's a couple $100,000, they obviously have some type of level of success, right? So, I mean, it's a big, marketing thing.
Cars are great social proof, and I know they get hate, but if you use it in the right way, you can make an ROI on it.
100%. And plus, I'll go to these, like I'm in this club with a bunch of supercar owners, right? So who am I hanging around with? Other supercar owners who obviously have a lot more money than I do.
Exactly.
Right?
And they got connections, people that probably invest in what you're doing. Yeah, it's a win-win. I need to look into those clubs out here.
Yeah, do it. I know Fastlane Club. I don't know if they have it out here,
but
they're big in Florida. Yeah. And they have a few like national ones too.
Yeah, I know there's rallies out here. I've been meaning to get to one of those.
Yeah.
Those look fun.
Yeah. Are you into cars at all?
I got a G-Wagon. I mainly bought it for the write-off.
Yeah.
Last year we had a lot of money, or a lot of profit in December, so I was like, I got like a day to figure this out. So I went to Vegas Auto Gallery and bought one. But no, I'm going to get more into it because my house has a lot of spots for cars. So I need to step it up.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I got my house too, because it has like a huge driveway and like a 3-car garage, but there's room to add like another 2-car garage and probably some lifts.
Wow.
So, I really like cars. So
that's the first one for you?
Yeah, this is like for the future.
One of many.
Yeah, and speaking of cars too, like not everything I have is like super nice. Like I got my truck, my Ford Raptor, which is like basically my daily.
Yeah.
And then I have these like 2 old Jeeps. One of them I found in a house that I bought, which was awesome.
What?
I got it for free. Yeah.
No way. He left his car?
Yeah, he left his car. Yeah. Yeah. And I texted him and I was like, hey, like, you coming to get this? Or he's like, nah, there's no title. It's like, I can't get it running. All I needed was a fuel pump.
Damn.
Drain the old gas, put a new fuel pump in there, and put a new battery in it, and it got it running, for like $350 or something like that.
And that's probably worth like 10 grand at least, right?
Yeah, it's probably worth a few grand. I mean, it was kind of in rough shape, you know, but there was also no title to it. So that was like, you had to, go through that process, which I didn't want to. So what I did is I went, my parents have like a little bit of property, and there's like, more like land, like to ride, ATVs and whatever, out there. So, we would just take it on the trails. And
I love that.
Beat the crap out of it, and like, cause you don't really care about it.
Yeah.
It's not like, your nice $100,000 truck, so you just, whatever. Then I let, one of my guys drive it, and within like 30 seconds, he crashed it into a tree.
Bro.
Totaled it.
Come on now. I've never been off-roading.
No?
No.
No way.
I want to go.
Dude, you have to.
I heard Vegas has some good spots.
I've heard that too. Yeah.
I've had the best off-road racer in the world on the podcast, BJ Baldwin.
Yeah,
and
really?
He lives out here, so he said whenever I'm ready. But dude, he goes
you
like,
have to do it, man.
Bro,
it's so fun.
He goes like 100 miles an hour, so I don't know if I want that, but we'll see.
Yeah. So I got I really liked it. Was just like this old Jeep, and when that one got crashed, it just wasn't worth it to fix it. Like it actually still ran, funny enough, but I liked it so much, and it was so much fun. I got another one on Facebook Marketplace, real cheap.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if it breaks, whatever, I can use the parts from the other one.
Don't sleep on Facebook Marketplace.
I know, right? I lowballed the dude again, got it for like, a few grand lower than what he was asking for.
Nice.
And then, so I drove it, whatever. Then we were in a field, just like, and it was like wet. So we were like doing donuts or whatever, caught like a little hole on the front tire, ended up rolling it over.
Whoa.
Yeah. Thankfully, I mean, we didn't get hurt or anything like that, but it was like behind a neighborhood.
Damn, that's scary.
Yeah, and then like the neighbors saw it, and they came over right away, helped us flip it back over, and drove it, and it turned on right away.
Wow.
Drove it. We ended up getting a trailer and just taking it home because like windshield was all cracked.
Yeah,
and everything.
Those cars are durable, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
Is that like the biggest hobby you have, off-roading?
I mean, I like doing that, and it's easy because like where I live and everything. Yeah. It's you don't have to go very far. I mean, I also love snowboarding too, but
nice.
I live in Florida, so I only get to do that a few times a year when I go out to Colorado or Utah or whatever.
I was UFO hunting last night.
Were you really?
Yeah, I had this guest on. Shout out to Chris Bledsoe. He's a UFO expert.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd that go? What's that like?
I can't say I saw one. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, but I did see some weird like star movements.
Yeah.
Like
interesting.
I thought they were meteors, but then we looked it up and there was no meteors that day.
Interesting.
So who knows?
So all right, a little off topic here, but do you believe in aliens?
Yes. Do you?
Yeah. I never did, but the more I think about it, with how big the universe is, I mean, the odds are there's probably is something else out there.
There has to be. Right?
Yeah.
Whether it's physical or like a light being, who knows? But there's gotta be something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some animals that I think are aliens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like praying mantis, they be up. Like that's not normal.
Right.
Nah, there's like even octopus. They're like way too smart for Earth.
Right?
Like that doesn't make sense.
Don't they have like a little brain in each one of their tentacles?
Oh, they do.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Wow.
Someone can fact check me on that, but that's what I've heard.
That is wild. No, but they're super smart. Even like dolphins, like they communicate with like the energy waves or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild.
There's interesting animals on
Don't
here.
underestimate animals, man.
Yeah. You got any dogs or anything?
I do. I got one dog.
Yeah, dogs changed my life.
Yeah. What's that?
Had terrible anxiety.
Really?
Yeah. Like awful, crippling, panic attacks.
Oh, dude, that's
and dogs, they just like heal you, man. They're so pure. You come home and
they always love you.
Yeah. Like you could have the worst day and then come home and they just make you feel way better.
100%. Yeah. No, they're awesome. I mean, my parents kind of like fought me on getting a dog when I was younger.
Yeah.
And for good reason. But now, like, we got one probably when I was like 12. He's still alive. He's still doing great.
Nice.
And then, just like that bond is so close.
That's massive. Are you big in like biohacking, personal development stuff?
I haven't really gotten into that.
Yeah, you're young, so you have unlimited energy right now, but you'll see as you age, you'll have to start doing stuff.
Yeah, that's what everyone tells me.
Yeah, but I remember when I was your age, I was working 18 hours a day, easy.
Yeah.
Sleeping like 4 hours, not feeling
right.
But it'll catch up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll catch up, man. But dude, it's been cool. Where can people find you? And do you have a course or anything?
I don't have a course. I probably will start some type of mentorship later this year. That is the plan. We're just kind of working out the details of that. But honestly, I'm super active on Instagram, Facebook. You can find me at CamarottiHomes.com. It's just my last name. Camarotti, CAMAROTTI Homes.
Perfect.
I post pretty often on that. And people send me messages looking for stuff, whatever. I'm usually always trying to answer messages.
Awesome. Yeah, if anyone here is watching this and they got a house in Florida, hit you up, right?
I'll buy it.
Perfect.
I'll buy it or I'll sell it for you, whatever.
I love it. We'll link his stuff below. Thanks for watching, guys, as always. Peace.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.